All right, so today we're going to be working on integers and rational numbers. We're preparing for the test for tomorrow, so we're reviewing lessons, that lesson 2 of Envision. Yeah, we're end our unit already. So, but before we always move forward, we always have something that to think about, to share. Yeah, Sophie, that's fast. Write an encouraging note for someone who's taking a test. Like we gonna be taking a short test tomorrow. It's from Sava, so it's not that bad. So I'll give you a minute to work on that, and I'll call you later to share. All right, go ahead, guys. Can 3 seconds. All right, time's up. So who could share something? Who could share the answer for this one? Should I call up or should you guys just the rule? So a point, right? A point on a coordinate plane that represented by a blank. What is it? John, what's your answer? It is a point on a coordinate plane represented by what? Ada said the answer. John, what's the answer? You guys unmute so I could just
ordered pair.
All right, John said it's an ordered pair. So that's correct for number 1. Number 2, the blank of a positive integer is a negative integer. Mansi?
The opposite.
The opposite is correct. The next one. A blank is any number that can be written as a quotient of 2 integers. What will that be, Tiffany?
I don't know because I didn't write anything.
All right, Mansi, want to bounce that back?
I think it's a rational number.
It's a rational number. That is correct. So here it says a rational number is any number that can be written as a fraction or as a quotient of 2 integers. So 5 can still be written as 5 over 1. So that's one of them. All right, let's look at this look at this last part. Explain the points A and B, where A is at 9, -2, 5, and B is at 9 and 2/5 are related. So how are they related? Use the vocabulary words in your explanation. How are they related to each other? Or is there any relationship for that? Helena? You have idea?
Point A and B are related because they are a reflection of each other over the axis.
Sophia, would you like to add?
I was going to say that they are reflections.
They are reflection, and Thomas and Sean said he agree, and Joy said they agree with you guys. So, for example, that A is at 9 and -2/5. So let's assume this is 9. So A will be here, all right, and at the same way, it's 9, and the other side will be here. So it's a reflection over the x-axis. You guys are good. So let's move on to the next page. I'll give you 3 minutes for the next page. Okay. Next page is this one. 3 minutes. 3 seconds. All right, time's up. So let's work on this one. It says for each point on the number line, write the integer and its opposite. Let's start with question number 1 with Alex. Alex, what's the answer for the first one? Where is A located and what's the opposite? Alex? I'll go back with you. Tiffany first.
For number 1, right?
For number 1, the letter A, yes.
The number 1 would be 3 and then the opposite would be -3.
So it's 3 and negative 3 is correct. Number 2. Mansi.
Number 2 is -1, and then the opposite is 1.
All right, that's -1, and the opposite is 1. How about letter C? Number 3. Can we get Christine? Christine, what's our letter C? Where is letter C located, and what's the opposite? Antonia? All right, Elisa.
It's -6 and the opposite is 6.
-6 and the opposite is 6. That's correct. Let's go with who else would not do? Darren? You guys need to be ready when I call you. Darren, what's your answer? How about Elliot? You guys are really quiet today. You need to like participate. Kishan, let's go. How is that? Elena? Go ahead.
For number 3, shouldn't the integer be 6 and the opposite is -6?
Oh, let's look at that. Oh, that is very good catch. Yes, that's true. We are at +6 and the opposite is -6. See, I didn't even look at that and I agree. And I agree with you. Is that correct? Did you guys get that catch also? It's a nice catch. Thank you for that. Joy, let's do number 4, the D.
D is -7 and the opposite is 7.
So let's make sure this time we're right? So it's -7 and the opposite is 7. That's correct. Letter E, Mansi.
Letter E is -5, and the opposite is 5.
Correct. And the last one, number 6. Let's have Raymond. Go ahead. Raymond? Go ahead. Letter F. Letter F is here. What is that? Where is F located?
1 and -1.
1 and negative. Are you having lunch?
I'm having 1.
Oh, nice. We're gonna have lunch later. All right, let's go for the next one. All right, I'm gonna erase this part because I could not move it. So I'm gonna move, and then I'm gonna have to go for the next one. And since you guys could not plot it for me, I'm just gonna do it. So here we're looking for 3/4. How are you gonna plot 3/4? Can somebody help me do plot 3/4? Where am I going to do that? Each of this, Sean, would you like to share? This is broken into 10. So where will I plot 3/4?
You would put it in the middle of 0.7 and 0.8.
0.7 and 0.8. So at 7 and 8. Wait, so I'm gonna put half first. Let's find half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is half. From here, so that's 0.5, and we need that anyways. So from here, I'll need to find 3/4. So 3/4 is half of the upper half, right? So it's between, what did you say, Sean? It's between
0.7 and 0.8.
So it's right there. It's 0.7, so it says 0.75, you said. So we could get it here. So that's what Sean is trying to tell us. So that is where 3/4 gonna be. The next thing we're gonna find is where is -2/5. We know that we break this into 10. So 2/5 we could count by 2 to find the destination, right? So we could go, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So since we're looking for -2/5, so that's 1 and 2. So we're gonna go here. So that's -2/5. You guys could tell me if you get it right, or maybe we plotted it wrong again. So just confirm that it's correct, and if it's not, we'll look over. Did you get it right? Yes? Confirm? Yes? So we could proceed? Okay. So silence me. John said yes. All right. So let's move to the next one. And Sean said yes too. Which one is greater, equal? You're gonna tell me if it is greater, equal, or less than for this one. All right. Let's do number one. Number four. What will that be? Justin. Say again. You cut yourself so fast. So that will be, I heard equal.
Equal.
So that's equal. All right, that's good. How about number five? Number five. Let's see. Antonia, are you there? So if number four is equal, because that's 0.25 and 1/4, so that's equal to each other. How about number two? Number two. Who's brave enough to say the answer? Is it greater or less? Open your mic, guys. Don't mute. Justin said greater. What do you mean? Oh, so 1 and 5/8 is greater than 1.6. So you say that's greater. How do you know it's greater? How do you know it's greater? Ada? What is the decimal equivalent of 1 and 5/8?
No, I just did it another way where it's 5/8 and 6/10, and then 5 times 10 is 650, and then 6 times 8 is 48. So 5/8 is greater. The left one.
So that's how you figure out that is greater. Anybody else a different way of finding? How do you know that 1 and 5/8 is greater than 1.6? You could also change this to a decimal.
I know that 1/8 is
5/8
greater than 1/10. 1/8 is greater than 1/10. So I use that.
Oh, so 1/8 is greater than 1/10. Where do you get 1/8?
1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8.
Ah, that's how you figured that out. That's 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 5 of them. And okay. So, but you know that you could also change this to decimal. So 1 and 5/8, since to compare it to the other decimal, 1 and 5/8 is actually what? Sean? 1 point what?
1.62.
1.625, right? And you compare that to 1.6. So it's not that much bigger, but it's still greater than a 1.6. So that said that 1 and 5/8 is still greater than 1.6. All right? So with decimal. How about number 6? This is so obvious because we know right away what is 3/4. Like we use that number a lot of times, so it's easier. So it's 3.65 greater or less than 3 and 3/4. Ada?
3.65 is lesser than 3 and 3/4.
3 and 3/4. We know that, right? Because 3 and 3/4 is 3.75. Number 7, what will be your answer? So is negative 2/3 greater or less than negative 3/4? If we always have to think which one is greater when it comes to a negative number, we always like think a lot more than just knowing which one is the positive side. So if you have negative 2/3 and negative 3/4, how will you know which one is greater or less? Anyone? Mansi? Joy? Not Prabinam, huh? Ada said negative 2/3 is greater. Do you agree with Ada, everyone? Because if you plot that in a number line, so let's take this in a number line. So 2/3. So if we have something like that as a number line, negative 2/3 is going to be here. So negative 2/3. and then negative and 3/4 is gonna be here. So that way we know that negative 2/3 is much closer to 0. That's why negative 2/3 is greater than negative 3/4. Unless it's positive, so that's a different story. All right, so the next is page 3. You got 3 minutes to work on page 3. All right, so page 3 is here. 3 minutes starts now. 3 seconds. All right, time's up, guys. So let's start again. So find the value of each of the following, like absolute value. All right. So who did we end up before? So let's start from the bottom. Winnie, what is your answer for the first one?
9.
So that is 9. Tiffany Lynn, what's your answer for the number 2? Sophia?
I thought you said Lynn.
Yeah, I know. I said Tiffany Lynn.
I thought you said
How about you say it, Tiffany?
okay, 2.
All right, Sophia, thank you, Tiff. Number 3, Sophie?
4.
4. Number 4, Sean? It's negative absolute value of negative 10. What will it be? No? Mansi?
Yes.
What will be answer for... I'm sorry. What will be answer for number 4?
Negative 10.
Negative 10. Why not positive 10?
Because there's a negative sign out of the absolute value, so it just puts it to a negative number.
That's correct. What's going on with your microphone? You've been having that kind of problem. So for number 5, we'll find the value. It says order the value from least to the greatest. Remember, it's two different things. Order the expression, but here we order the value. So for number 5, how do we order this? Joy? Joy, you want to try?
Number 5.
Yep.
Number 5 is negative 2 and then negative 3 and then 10.
But you had to do the absolute value though, so the negatives will be going away, remember? When you do the absolute value distance.
Oh.
So that will be what?
I didn't see that.
So how do we do this now? Just find the absolute value of each of those expressions, then order them.
It'll just be 2, 3, and then 10.
That's correct. This will be 2, 3, and 10 because it's the absolute value of the number. Number 6. Jeremy, are you here? Jeremy.
Yes.
All right, go ahead, Jem. What's number 6?
0.
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah, that's correct. You start with 0 because it's the lowest one. Then you find the absolute value of each.
The negative 5.
But that's not just negative 5. That's absolute value of negative 5.
Absolute value of negative 5 and the absolute value of negative 7.
So what is the absolute value of negative 5? Because it's asking you for the value, not the expression.
5.
5 and then?
7.
There you go. Thank you.
Miss Gongora, I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
In the example, it puts the absolute value.
Find the absolute value of that from least to the greatest. So just find the absolute value and order them. That's true, right? Find the absolute value, order them. Oh, so this is what they asked me before. Are we writing them in the absolute value form, or we're keeping it as the equivalent value form? But if you see they wrote this negative 2 first, then absolute value of 3, and then 4 and the absolute value of 5, that's fine also. So I'll take both.
Oh,
But because if you look at it, that's also 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? According
oh,
according to their value. That's why they arrange them like that. But that's fine. I'll take
there's
both.
more
I'll take
classes.
both. The class is over?
Yes.
Oh
We do
boy.
this for homework and do we do the math?
So we're gonna be working on the last question. So let's make clear this one and I'll move ahead to here. So here it says give the ordered pair for each of the point. So let me get my pen again. So here it says find the coordinate of u. So since you guys are already out, I'm just gonna be myself in this one. So the coordinate of u is here, right? U is here. So find the x first. So the x will be 0 and the u will be at 2.5. So that will be 0 and 2.5 or 2.5 will be okay. The v is here. So that x is -2. This always be x and y. And then the y will be at 1.5. Wait. The y will be at 1.5. Let me erase that a little bit clearly because I don't want you to think that that's a negative number. So let me write that again. So it's at -2, where I'm looking for a b, and then that's 1.5. All right, or 1.5, you could do that. And the w is at -4 and -1. So -4 is the x and the y is at -1. Let's double check, but sometimes I look at it and I get it wrong. So yes, that's correct. The x on the other hand, the point x is at x-axis, so that's 0. Now, see, I told you I got that wrong. So the x-axis is not x, so I'm just confused. So that's at 2.5. And the y, since it doesn't move, is at 0. It's a very long day, guys. So the x of the y is at 2. And the y of the y is at -1.5. -1.5. There you go. Letter z or point z. The x of point z is at -1.5. So -1.5. And the y will be at -3. There we go. So that is for page 3. Let's proceed to page 4. You guys could just forward your video if you want, if wherever you want to put it. All right. So here it is. So I will not read the entire thing. We're just gonna say find the length of AB. But if you look over here, that it's two grid, the two grids are counted as one. So every box is 1/2. So because look, it takes two to make one. So it looks like each of the grid is 1/2. And they already started to find the distance between A and B. We know that A and B are in the same horizontal distance, right? It's A and B, so same horizontal distance. And the only thing is that they are in the same quadrant, so we subtract the absolute value of their y coordinates, of their x coordinates, I mean. See, I'm telling you, this is really like late. So absolute value of -3, which is here, and the absolute value of -1 is here, because they are on the same y, it's in 2. So 3 minus 1 is 2, and that was the distance for AB. Actually, you could just count it's easier because you have the graph. What's the point of like really solving it if you could also count them? So you know that this is 1 and 2. So that's 2 units apart from each other. Just easy quick check at how far it is. But you know that this is at 3, negative 3, 2, and this is at negative 1, 2. So absolute value of negative 3 minus absolute value of negative 1 is 2 units. All right? So let's go over here. We're going to use this graph to answer this question. So over here it says, I'm going to get again my pen. I'm just going to make the shortcut. So you're going to look for BC. B and C is here. So it means that's only 1. So that's only 1 unit. D, DE. So that's 1, 2, and then 3. So that's 3 units. FA, F and A. So I'm jumping 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4. And then CD, where is CD? Let me change the color so it doesn't like overlap. So what is it? CD, C and D is here. So that's 1 and 2. So that's only 2. E and F, or FE is okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's 4. Now it's asking you what's the perimeter of ABCDEF shape. But we know that this is 2. Remember? We did it before. So that's 2. This is 8 plus, that's 2, and that's 2, and that's 4. So that's another 8. So the perimeter is 16 units. Okay? I hope you get that. But if you really want to solve it, like regularly, you just find their if it's horizontal coordinates, you have to if it's horizontal, you have to solve their distance where the x's are. And if it is vertical, you have to solve their distance using the y coordinates. Okay. So let's go to this part. We are going to plot. So in 7 and 8, polygon QRST are vertices of Q, R, and S and T. And yeah. So we're gonna find the point of -4 and 1. So -4 and -1 is here. So -4 and -1 is here. So I'm gonna label that Q. Next, I'm going to find -4 and 5. -4 and 5 is here. Then I'm going to label that R. Then I'm going to find 2 and 5. 2 and then 5 is here. Then you're going to label that S. You're going to find 2 and -1. So 2 over here and -1 over here. And that will be the letter T because it asks us to plot and label them. Draw and label the polygon QRST on the coordinate plane. Since it's a polygon, we closed it. Okay. So I'm gonna go here. I hope it's straight. And right there. Construct an argument. What is the next one? I could not read the last part, but let's see if it is a square or a rectangular shape. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Voila. So we know it's a square. Okay. Yes, my handwriting. All right, guys. So I hope you are able to get an idea on how to plot the points and to find distance between a shortcut way. And if you have more questions before we go to the test tomorrow, you could always ask. All right. So, and again, for tonight, I want you to work on that project that you have, the map. You are going to find the distance between two locations, and you are going to put your answer to place that on slide 4 of our project. With that said, I'm gonna say bye-bye to you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.